Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our LASH Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to this week's episode of LASH Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach and lash educator. And this week's episode is a very highly requested topic. I get so many of you guys asking questions about doing ads on social media, on the internet, to be able to build your business and to grow your clientele. And I will be the first to say that ads is not my expertise. I've dabbled in them here and there, but I personally did not use them to build my clientele. So I'm bringing you on an expert this week to talk about it, and I'm asking her all the questions for you. So this week's guest is Deirdre. She is a digital marketing strategist with nearly 20 years of experience. She's managed campaigns for big brands like Microsoft, Porsche, Audi, and Hard Rock, but she hates working in an office, and corporate advertising is not what makes her happy. The most fulfilling campaigns that she's ever worked on have been for her own family's business, a dance school. So she's helped her brother and his wife grow their business into what is now one of the top dance schools in their city, and it's been the most rewarding thing she's ever done. So that's why she wants to help other local business owners like you be able to grow. And when she's not geeking out over ads, she can be found cuddling her cats, sipping a gin and tonic, and reading the latest, oh my gosh, Cormoran, please don't hate me if I said that wrong, Cormoran Strike novel. So there you have it. Before we jump into our really great episode with Deirdre, I just wanted to do a couple of quick announcements. So it's been a hot minute since we've had a new episode. If you're wondering why there's been a little bit of a break, I actually started a new business back at the end of September, beginning of October, called Beauty Core Pro. It's a social media marketing agency for beauty business owners, salons, solo artists, the whole shebang. It has been so much fun and so busy. But in this time, I also announced dates for Lash Biz Babes Online Conference 2024. Now, if you don't know what this is, we had our first one this past year in May of 2023, and it's a 2-day, all online, all virtual conference specifically for solo beauty business owners to help you build your business, grow your clientele, and continue your business education in an accessible and flexible way. And we are coming back for year 2, May 18th and 19th, 2024. We actually did our first ticket presale for it on Black Friday weekend. If you missed the ticket presale, I'm going to have a link in the show notes for you to grab a ticket for only $99. And I'm only doing this and giving my listeners an opportunity to get their presale ticket now, just because I was on the break and I didn't announce it on the podcast until now. So this is going to be your opportunity to grab a presale ticket. This link is only going to be open for the next, probably leave it open for about 2 or 3 weeks, but it is going to have a time limit on it. So you're going to want to go get your ticket now if you haven't already. We've got some really amazing speakers. I haven't announced the speaker lineup yet. It is coming soon, but I would love to have you there. I'd love to virtually meet you. Obviously, I will be speaking at the event as well. And you can learn more about it at lashbizbabesconference.com. That link will be in the show notes. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to be telling you guys about that new business that I started on a different episode. So stay tuned for that. I'm just so excited to jump into this episode and have you hear from Deirdre, because I know so many of you ask about ads and I want you to learn about them. So without further ado, let's jump on into it.
Hey, well, welcome to the show. I'm super excited to have you on today. So, first off, I would just love for you to introduce yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Deirdre. I'm a digital marketing strategist. I've been in advertising for close to 20 years. I specialize in Google, Facebook, and Instagram ads, and I'm here because I work with a lot of beauty business owners.
I love that. And that, wow, that's a long time to be working in like marketing and stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So how did you get into, helping beauty business owners and, kind of doing what you do?
it was kind of an evolution, to be honest. I didn't start out with the intention of helping beauty business owners. Um, I originally started my own business because I wanted to work with just small local business owners. I worked in an agency for several years. I managed advertising campaigns for really big name corporate brands, but I didn't really enjoy it. And I actually used to spend all my time hanging out at the dance studio that was owned by my brother and his wife. So that's kind of how I got into working with local businesses. They were just like newlyweds in their 20s when they started their business around something that they were very passionate about. They loved dance. They were amazing teachers, amazing choreographers. Like they knew how to run a studio. But the first couple of years, they had a really hard time getting new clients. They didn't know how to market the business. So I would spend all of my time trying to help them market, get new customers. And that really meant a lot to me to actually see the difference that I could make in the life of an everyday small business owner. So fast forward a couple of years, I start my own business with the intention of working with small businesses like them. And my very first customer ever was an eyelash extension artist. So she bought like a $12 ebook that I wrote, and we just connected. We became friends. And I have to give her a shout out. Her name is Magda. And 5 years later, she's still my customer. I still work with her. And she just started telling every other lash extension artist that she knew, like, you have to check out this girl, Deirdre. Running paid ads changed my business and changed my life. You have to check her out. And now, like, I would say 80% of my customers are lash artists and permanent makeup artists. So that's kind of how I ended up where I am.
That's amazing. And you're so right. I mean, it's one thing with a bigger business, but just to see like the difference that it makes for small business owners to like have the customers and to get the clients and like it really is truly life changing. So I love what you do and like your backstory with that. And I think a lot of beauty business owners can relate to your story with your siblings with their dance studio. They're really good at what they do, but they struggle to get the clients in, and it's that struggle to get the clients in that's keeping them from doing what they love. And so, yeah, that I think is, I mean, I have not been a paid ads, not utilized them as much, but I know that there are so many who have, and it's been like life changing for them. So I really respect your profession and your type of business and what you do because it really does, like I said, change lives. So with you, you have a little bit of a different approach to marketing than most other marketers out there. So I would love to hear a little bit more about that. What is different with your approach to filling up books than other marketers that are out there?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I am all about paid advertising. It's what I'm really good at and what I'm really passionate about. So, of course, there are other ways of marketing your business that don't involve spending money on paid ads. But for me personally, I feel like it's the easiest and the quickest way to get your business in front of new customers. But what I think makes my approach a bit different is that I don't believe that one platform is better than another. So you're not going to hear me say, like, oh, you have to run Facebook ads because that's where the money is at. And on the flip side, you're never going to hear me say, no, Facebook is dead. You have to use Google. I don't believe in one platform over another because in reality, people use all of these different platforms for different reasons. And people behave differently on Facebook or Instagram than they do on Google. So My approach is more about how can we use these different platforms together just to reach the right person at the right time. And I think that we're going to go into a little bit deeper in that in just a few minutes when we talk about the customer journey.
Yeah, and that's so true. I like look at it in a similar way. Like I don't feel like there's a better platform than others. And like I feel, well, for myself, like I used multiple platforms in conjunction with each other. And I feel like that was the easiest way for me to go about it. So I love that you kind of have that similar mindset of like, let's see what's going to work the best for you in your business. And where are the potential clients that you're wanting to get into your business? What platforms are they on? I think that's a big thing to consider too, for sure.
And the truth of the matter is that they're on all of these platforms. We don't just stick with one. It's just that we use all of these different platforms, but we use them in different ways for different reasons. So
Exactly.
when we use them together, we can reach people at different stages of their journey.
I love that. So, do you see a big difference in results from organic marketing versus paid ads?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair and honest, organic traffic is typically going to convert better than paid traffic. So what that means is that you are more likely to get a booking from somebody who finds you naturally on their own than from somebody that you paid to put your business in front of. But the difficulty with relying solely on organic traffic is that it's very hard to get more of it. You want to be showing up on social media, of course. You want to be optimizing your website so you show up on Google. You want to get Google reviews. That's all going to help people find you naturally. And it's fantastic, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, and you don't have direct control over how many people will see your services. Whereas with paid ads, you can choose who sees your business, where they see it, what they see, and you can rapidly increase the number of people checking you out just by investing a bit of money.
Right. I love that. Kind of like a side by side comparison there, because I think there's a lot of, well, and a lot of our listeners are solo beauty business owners who are newer to marketing, or they are learning a lot about it. And so just to hear that difference between, organic versus paid, I think will be really beneficial for a lot, because I know that would have helped me out back when I first started as well. So paid ads, they can feel a little bit overwhelming for solo owners at first, especially if they are newer. They're still maybe learning their technique, or there's like technical skills with lashing or hair, or whatever services they offer. And they're trying to learn all the marketing and the photo taking, all the things. And so paid ads can just feel like a little overwhelming, like another thing for them to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to know, like, from your perspective, how would a solo owner know if like paid ads are right for them?
Um, I would say that if you are just starting out in your business, or even if you're like in the first year of your business, you probably should not invest in paid ads just yet. It doesn't mean that you can't in the future, but I think that there's so much to learn in that first year. You're still trying to figure out how to price your services. You're trying to figure out like what do you need to put into your website. You're trying to figure out who your ideal client is. It's a lot to learn. And as much as I love advertising, it's not a get rich quick solution. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. It does take some strategy and planning, and of course it takes money. So I think that paid ads are more suited to those who are already seeing some success in their business and they're ready to amplify that success. So if you're at a point where you're like, okay, yeah, business is all right. I have some clients, I have some good reviews, I have amazing work that I know I can show off. I'm making a bit of money. I really just want to figure out how to grow this thing. I think at that point, paid ads can really help. Like once you know that you have that spark already, then advertising is like throwing the fuel on the fire.
That I love that whole explanation you just gave. And I think my favorite part of what you said is it's not a get rich quick scheme. I think sometimes any kind of marketing, sometimes people would be like, this is going to be the thing that gets me all the clients overnight. And that's not always really the case. It's still going to take time or money or effort on your part. And being able to have those first couple years to set your business up, make sure you have all your systems down in place, and like you were saying, your pricing, your branding, all those types of things. I think that that's really beneficial. So I love that you made that distinction of, get your business set up, get those processes, get all those things in place. And then once you have that foundation, kind of scale it and build it up more with paid ads, because then you can at least know, what am I going to put in this, and what actually works the best for you as well.
Yeah.
And so if someone wants to start utilizing ads or, paid advertising, how would you recommend them getting started, or what would you recommend for them?
I think it depends on what your budget is and how serious you are about putting in the time to learn how to manage your campaigns. Absolutely no shame if you don't have a ton of time to put into learning this. But if you're just getting started, you have zero experience and you just want to dip your toes in the water a little bit with like a few dollars a day, I would suggest with actually just retargeting your existing audience on Facebook and Instagram. So retargeting just means showing ads to people who have already engaged with you online. So they've either visited your website or they follow you on Instagram. These people already know about you. They have already shown interest in you. So it's a lot easier to get them to take that next step and book you. And it's a lot cheaper too. So you can just spend maybe $5 a day and you can use your existing Instagram posts as ads. But if you have a bigger budget, so like let's say you're willing to spend around $500 a month and you want to really rapidly scale your business, Google Ads are a really great place to start. Google Ads convert really well and I love them. They're one of my favorite kind of ads to run, but they are a bit more expensive and require some more work. So you do need a bigger budget and more time on your hands.
That totally makes a lot of sense. And, in my experience, clients who find you on Google, they're like already decided that, hey, I'm going to get this service done. I just need to find someone to book with. So when you can get found on Google, the conversion is a lot higher.
Yeah, they're that much closer to booking.
Yes, exactly. So that doesn't surprise me that you say Google Ads convert really well. They're like ready to book. They just are trying to figure out, who am I going to go to? They're looking at all their options, right? So with that, a lot of solo beauty business owners end up DIYing their ads. Do you see that happening a lot, or what's been your experience with that?
Yeah, a lot of people come to me and they've experimented a little bit and they kind of have this idea that, well, ads just don't work. Or, I spent this money and I didn't get any bookings, so ads are a scam. Or maybe they work for big businesses, but they don't work for me. And usually I think the biggest mistake going into it is that people don't have a strategy and they don't know their numbers. So maybe they decided to just like boost their Instagram posts, which I do think is a terrible idea. But ultimately, the mistake is not boosting the post. The mistake is that they're just winging it. They're boosting the post just to see what happens without any clear idea of what to expect or what a profitable result would even look like. So before I work with any client, I always get them to take a really good look at their numbers. Like what is the actual revenue goal? And is that revenue goal enough to like actually pay yourself on top of all of your expenses? How many new clients do you need to achieve that revenue goal? What is a new client worth to the business? And then from there, what's the marketing budget and how much can they afford to spend to actually acquire those new clients without losing money? If you don't know these things beforehand, you're either going to lose money on ads that aren't aligned with your goal, or you're just going to get confused by all of the numbers, or you'll give up on your ads before they even have a chance to succeed. And that's when I hear people saying things like, well, ads just didn't work for me.
I totally agree. I love your explanation with that, where you were talking about their numbers, and can you even pay yourself on top of this? Because I think that that's another thing that a lot of beauty business owners struggle with, especially when they're in those first few years or so, where they don't know their numbers and they aren't making any money on their services as it is. So I love that that's something that you sit down and have them look at as well. And so with that, what do you think is like the customer journey? This is something that you talk about a lot, so I would love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so we kind of touched on this earlier when I was talking about like using different platforms together. And ultimately, your goal by doing that is to reach people wherever they are on their own customer journey. So basically, the customer journey is just the steps that we all go through before we decide to buy something. I think when it comes to paid ads, people have this idea that you just like, put up an ad, hit publish, put it in front of somebody, and then they're going to click on it and then they'll buy something. And then if the person doesn't buy something right away, then that means the ad didn't work. But that's actually not how paid advertising works, because that's not how real people work. I mean, like if you ask yourself, how often do you click on an ad and then immediately whip out your wallet to buy whatever that thing is, right? Like it doesn't happen very often. And if it does, it's probably because it's something you already wanted and it's on sale. Um, but people, they're not going to spend money right away. And that's just because they need to go through multiple steps or phases before they feel comfortable parting with their money. So first and foremost, they need to become aware that the thing exists in the first place. And when you're a lash artist, you need to remember that people can't book you if they've never heard of you. And then once people are aware of something, they need to actually take an interest in it. So, you can talk about eyelash extensions all day, every day, but if someone isn't actually interested in getting their lashes done, the journey just stops there. But once that person does take an interest in the service and they start to think like, maybe this is something that's right for me, maybe I should try it, then they're going to start considering who to hire. That's when people start researching. So they'll go to Google and look for, lash artists near me, and they're going to look at reviews and they're going to compare different businesses and they're going to compare pricing. And then once that person is seriously considering where they want to get their lashes done, they need a reason to take action and actually book the appointment. And usually that just comes down to a matter of trust. They're going to book the business that they trust will be right for them. So this is the journey that all of our clients go through. It might take a couple of days, it might take a couple of weeks, but ultimately when it comes to advertising, we can't expect to force people to complete this journey in a couple of minutes just by putting an ad in front of them.
I feel like I even just learned a lot from that too. Because it's so true. People do have to hear about you. They have to know your business exists. They have to hear about you more than one time before they're going to make that decision to book with you. And so I think that's really great where it ties in with how you're talking about multiple touch points, and even on different platforms and such, can be really beneficial in helping them get to know who you are, learn who you are, get to know you, and get to build that trust with you as a business before they even step foot into your studio as well. So how can we use this information to create a paid ads campaign that actually gets people to book an appointment?
Yeah. So, I mean, when I set up a campaign for a client, I use basically every single platform that I can, because I believe that a successful campaign meets people wherever they are at on their customer journey and helps guide them to the next step. And so we can use that by using different types of ads on the different platforms. So, if you're trying to build up awareness of your business because you feel like a best kept secret, nobody knows about you, you can start out by running banner ads on the Google Display Network. So these are just the ads that you see on like blogs, at the top of websites. Sometimes they pop up on YouTube videos. It's kind of like the digital equivalent of running ads with like radio ads with catchy jingles,
Yeah.
Like McDonald's, they don't expect you to run out and buy a Big Mac because you heard their like "I'm loving it" jingle.
Right.
Like they're putting themselves out there and trying to get in your head so that you're thinking of them. And as a small business owner, you can do that same thing with Google Display ads. It's a visual, so it's a really good opportunity to show off your business name and your brand colors and your logo, and just kind of give people an idea of what you do, get them aware of you, and make sure they know that you exist, and hopefully spark some kind of interest in your service. So that kind of like kicks off the whole customer journey. And, once people are interested in what you do, they're going to start considering who to hire. So they're going to go to Google, they're going to start doing some research, and you can put your business directly in front of them while they're searching using Google Ads. So if somebody searches for a lash artist, you can show up like right then and there in real time in their search results and get them considering you. So they'll click on your Google ad and go to your website and check out what you do, but they still need time to make a decision, right? So even if they do think everything looks great, they're going to need time and they're going to need a reason to actually take action and book the appointment. And they need to know that they can trust you. And you can actually help build up that trust by following up with them on Facebook and Instagram. So these are very visual platforms. It is the perfect place to use retargeting ads, which we talked about a little bit earlier. You can use retargeting ads to show off your work or to show off your studio space or to show off reviews from other customers. And equally as important, these retargeting ads give people a way to get back to you. Because like, I don't know about you, but I look at stuff online all the time. And even if I'm really interested in it, once I close the tab, I completely forget what I was looking at. Then 2 days later, I'll be like, what was that brand again? I don't know. Then I just forget.
I'm the same.
But with retargeting ads, you're showing off your expertise. You're building that trust, and you're reminding people of who you are, and you're giving people a way to come back to you. They see the ad, they can just click on it, get back to your website, and then they can book you. So that's kind of how I use all of these different platforms together. I create the awareness, we capture that interest, we get in front of them while they're considering who to hire, and then we follow up, build that relationship by showing them, this is why I'm the best at what I do. Here's the link to click and get back to me.
I think that's such a great explanation of the different types of ads, because I think at least for myself, I think I've tended to think of ads as just like it's just like maybe one dimensional in a sense of like there's only one kind of ad, you just run an ad and that's it. So I think that's really going to help a lot of people. Okay, here's the difference between a few different types of ads and what they can do for you to help your business. And that makes a lot more sense of like the local ads that like pop up when you're like playing a game on your phone and stuff. I never knew what like the name of those were. So banner ads, that's cool. I like those, different distinctions on those.
Yeah. And what's great too about, with retargeting ads is it doesn't have to be all about hard selling, not just like, I'm the best, buy my thing. Like you can actually just, use them to connect with people. So one of the things that I love doing with my clients is I will run an ad that is literally just a picture of the owner and be like, this is Jessica. She's the owner of such and such lash studio, and this is her passion. Like just introducing the owner to the people checking out the business so they can see like there's a real person behind this company and this is who she is and what she loves. Or I will run just like a reel that's just a tour of the studio, right? Because your business could be the same as the lash studio up the street, but you like a calm, quiet, tranquil environment, where the other one is like busy, upscale, playing like electronic dance music and whatnot, you know what I mean? So you don't even have to say like, I'm better, they're worse. It's just, whoever's been checking you out will then have the opportunity to see, okay, this is what it's like inside. So I vibe with that. Like, I want this environment. I like that environment. They're going to be more likely to book you. So it's just about showing off like you are what makes your business unique. So you can show people that with these retargeting ads.
Right. And I think that that's really cool too, that you brought this up, because even with organic marketing, it's pretty similar in that way. I think some of the best performing posts for myself were just like, pictures of myself, like I'm going to introduce myself, or like when I had another lash artist working in my studio with me, like posting a picture of her and what she looks like, and like, here's how you can find us, here's a tour of our studio, like those types of things. And so I love that those work really well with paid ads too, because that is so true. It's like really we are the selling point behind our business, and are either going to attract the people who are for us or detract people. And I think it's okay to detract people. I think sometimes we get scared of that because we're like, I just want everyone and anyone to book. But like, that's really the whole purpose behind marketing, is attracting the clients that you want to book, or that are similar to you, like-minded to you, or that are going to vibe with you and such, and detract the ones that maybe just aren't quite the right fit for you for whatever reason.
Yep, absolutely.
So you mentioned boosted posts a little bit ago, and I wanted to kind of go back to that. Can you tell us the difference between like boosted posts and actual paid, like an ad campaign that's set up? Because I get that question, or I see that question asked a lot in Facebook groups, like LASH Facebook groups, and they're like, I boosted this post and I didn't get any bookings from it, or, like, is there a difference between the two? And if yes, like, what is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So honestly, I believe that boosting posts is like the biggest scam ever. Facebook
Yep.
and Instagram, like it's just a way for them to make quick money. So what it is basically you'll put up a post and you'll get a little alert saying like this post is performing 95% better than all your other posts. You should boost it with $5 and we'll show it to 100,000 people. No, they'll say up to 100,000 people. But here's the thing. There's no targeting, right? There's no, you can't set an objective with the campaign. Basically, it'll just go out to anybody and everybody, no matter who they are, or whether they even have an interest in your business, or whether they are even showing any intent. And Facebook will just like take your money, and there is no objection or objective, excuse me, behind the campaign. So you don't really know, like, okay, well, what did I even get out of this? Like, I reached, 100,000 people. Okay, but what did that get me? Like,
Right.
nothing. um,
Or likes.
yeah, like getting in front of people or getting a bunch of likes does not translate to like getting paying clients into your business. So I do not recommend boosting posts. However, you can still promote posts that are performing really well through the Facebook Ads Manager. So it does take a little bit more work to set up. Probably if you actually ever have boosted a post, you already have an ads manager account, you just don't know it. Facebook likes to make things kind of like confusing. But you do have to go through Facebook, find the ads manager, and then you can set up your promotion in there. And when you do that, you have the option to, of course, choose your targeting. So like, I want to target people within a 3-mile radius of my business. I want to target women between these ages. I probably wouldn't actually recommend adding interest targeting for a local business because it's such a small audience. But you should at least set an objective. So instead of just, reach as many as people as possible, you can tell Facebook, I want people to take this action, whether that's, getting to your website and actually loading the landing page, or if you do have more advanced conversion tracking set up, like people who are actually going to book you. And the algorithm is smart enough to figure out who is actually going to take that action, and we'll put your ad in front of those people instead of just everybody.
I remember learning about that for the first time, how Facebook really, they track so much of our actions and what we do, and like who's most likely to send you a message based on an ad that they see, or who's most likely to buy. So when you set that objective, it's going to show it to those people who are most likely to send you a message or to book with you and those types of things. And that really changed the way I looked at ads and the way I interacted with them too. It was so interesting to me how much information they really do gather about us, and target things specifically to us. And so I think that, I'm so glad I thought to ask you about boosted posts, because that, oh my gosh, I mean, I boosted a post in the past and I did it once because I was like, this was a waste, like not worth it at all. And so actually setting up that ads campaign and having the objective, I think it's going to make a big difference for anyone who's listening who, maybe is struggling with that, or trying to find some success with paid advertisement. So shifting gears just a little bit, one thing I'm asking all our guests lately is, are you reading any books right now? Or is there anything that you've read in the past that you really loved or resonated with? I would love to hear about it.
Yeah. I actually have two recommendations. So two books that really made a big difference for me in my business. The first book is called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. You look like you've heard of that one.
Yeah.
So Profit First is basically just a money management system that helps you manage your cash within your business, so that you can like prioritize paying yourself first, and also so that you don't get like caught when the tax bill comes, or all your money goes to expenses instead of paying yourself a salary. That was really groundbreaking for me in my business. I was able to like separate my money as it came in, and build up a business savings account, because as we know, like things don't always go according to plan. So just having that profit bank there, that profit vault, that made a huge difference for me. So Profit First was a really big one. I think every business owner should read that. And the second book that I love and recommend is called We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers. And I love this book not because I think you have to be a millionaire to be successful, but it's really very much about how difficult it is for women in business. I think something like, according to the US Census data, like only 11% of female business owners ever get past that six-figure mark, because of, all of the struggles that we as women face when, running our own businesses. We don't have the same level of support, and we're kind of expected to do it all on our own. So this book really talks about the importance of having that financial security and financial independence as a woman in business, and how you can help create that for yourself with the decisions that you make, like actually making the decision to invest your money in like advertising. Maybe you're scared to spend money, but you're making that decision because it's going to bring something back to you and help you get to that next level. So I think it's a good read for any women who want to take their business further.
I'm gonna add that one to my list. That sounds like a really good one. Because yes, I would very much agree that women don't have support in business. And so I love that I think it's getting talked about a lot more now, which I think is a very important conversation. And I love that it is becoming more of a discussion now for sure. So any last thoughts or advice or guidance or things you want to add to what we've been talking about today?
I mean, I absolutely love paid advertising. I mean, I sound like I'm such a nerd, but it
No
truly
way.
it truly is like something I'm very passionate about. It's not just a job for me. So I will always hype up running paid ads. I've managed campaigns for a ton of beauty businesses, and I'm always so excited to see these small businesses grow. So if you are like ready to see some success in your business and skyrocket your revenue, definitely have a think about how paid ads might fit into your business. But just keep in mind that there is more to it than just like publishing a post. Take your time, make sure you find the right resources to guide you, actually, make an effort to learn about what the numbers mean. That way you're not going to get burned and think like, oh, ads don't work. I don't want anybody to have a negative experience.
Like, I'm just so glad you reached out to come on the podcast, because we get questions about paid ads all the time. And I don't think enough beauty business owners really understand the full power of them or how to utilize them. So thank you so much for coming on and, sharing your knowledge and letting me pick your brain about it. I really hope that anyone who's listening is able to get a lot from it today. And so where can they find you online to connect with you?
Well, my website is definemarketing.ca. I have a couple of free resources and some low-cost workshops to help people get started. Or for anybody who just wants to connect on Instagram, you can find me at Define Marketing Blog.
Perfect. So I'll put her links in the show notes so you guys can easily go find her there. And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome.